Hello everyone, I'm Terry from Everything Homestead. I have my Electroculture results to show you and a little bit of a surprise that you won't believe. Anyone who's looked into electroculture at all has probably familiarized themselves with one of these little copper wire probes, you call them, I guess, that you put in the soil next to your plant. I discovered it on YouTube about 7-8 months ago, and I thought, hey, I've got copper wire laying around, I'll give it a shot. Don't have anything to lose. But I was kind of skeptical at first, so I wanted to do some testing here and there, different parts of my garden. Didn't have a whole lot of luck when I put them next to the strawberries. There was still bug infestations, not bad, but just like any other year. My lettuce, peas, and tomatoes saw no difference between the ones I put these next to and the ones I didn't. And yes, I wrapped it the correct way, did all the little steps, all the tricks that I was supposed to do to make it work. I made sure of that. There's a young man on YouTube that really, he has his face on many videos. And I think I watched just about every one of them. So I had a firm grasp of how to go forward with this. The one thing I wanted to show you is my raspberry patch. There is a big difference in my raspberry patch that I'll show you. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so right here I have my raspberry patch. I have 2 rows. Off in the distance here, over here I have 2 rows of my old patch. It's probably been there for many years. I always end up thinning it and haven't been able to get quite the harvest that I want to get as many raspberries as I want. So I took plants and transplanted them over to this area. And I made 2 more rows. I just basically extended what I had before. And I did this probably a year and a half ago, and you can see I have some pumpkin growing between the 2 rows right now. I'm a very good weed farmer too. You can see a lot of weeds. But if you notice, the most amazing part to me is this front row is way shorter than the back row. The back row is almost, some of them are kind of leaned over right now because they have some fruit coming on, but it's almost twice the height. It's amazing. I couldn't believe it. And actually, just look at over here, there's some nice sized berries coming on there. And on this front section, not much of anything. There's a couple of them just starting to show that there's some berries on it, but there's a huge difference. I can't believe it. And you're thinking, holy cow, how did you do that? Where did you place your copper wound electroculture things in this garden? Because I don't see them. Well, you don't see them because I didn't use any on this. You see many people on YouTube showing you, look at this plant, and then look at this plant. Look at the difference in size. This is electroculture. Well, I had you going for a little bit, didn't I? There is no electroculture used here, but there's a huge difference in plant growth. I watered them the same, fertilized them the same soil, everything's the same, sunlight's the same, everything's the same. But look how easy it is to fool somebody on whether or not electroculture is the next best thing. You got to be aware of what's going on, especially on YouTube. Be skeptical. Try it for yourself. And I don't mean to be all negative Nancy on this electroculture thing. I'm sure some people have had great success with it. I'm happy for you. If you have, write a comment, tell me your successes with it. I haven't seen a whole lot. There's people on YouTube that show their successes, but there's really no proof to speak of out there other than they'll say it's bigger than last year. You know, I have plants that are bigger than last year, smaller than last year. I want some real solid evidence that you can tell me about. Maybe there's something I'm doing wrong. Let me know. I feel like I've studied it enough that I did everything according to the rules that you're supposed to follow. I just don't think it's something I'm going to keep on doing. And I wanted to let you guys know that it is what it is, and I don't want anybody else to be fooled into going through all these tricks that they're trying to get people to do. Just fertilize your soil like you normally should, water it like you should, take care of it like you should, and you'll do great. It doesn't necessarily have to be with copper coils and stuff. It's a lot of work. If you really get into it, it can be a pain in the rear end. I'm trying to think. There's a gentleman on YouTube that's been promoting this big time. When he first came out on YouTube, I noticed it probably at the beginning of this year, and been kind of watching. Well, I've watched quite a few videos because I wanted to learn about it, and he's on a number of different channels being interviewed. Trying to think if it's not real, why would he be putting this information out there? I can maybe think of two possibilities, and either one are probably it. One of them is that he's a heavy precious metals or a copper metal investor. I don't think that's the case, but I got a chart, and I know it's probably backwards for you here, but this is about the time of year when all this information came out on YouTube. You can see where the price went pretty much straight up during that time, and then it's only probably a 13% climb, and then you can see where it's just been tapering off ever since. And I don't know if that's because people are realizing that electroculture isn't working and they stop buying that, or if it's just a normal market thing. Don't know. Is that his motivation? Don't think he's that smart to go that route. It seems like to me it's more of a prank than anything, like a college prank where see who can get the most people fooled, the big prank ever type thing. When you watch these videos, you'll notice some of the things I'm going to tell you about. One person asked him about his garden, and he said, I don't have a garden. And there's an alarm bell right there. He said that when he goes to the gym, he notices that people have these, copper bracelets and stuff, and that it makes him so powerful. And then he did some research, and now he discovered this. And so this guy has no experience doing this at all. But yet he's on every single YouTube channel discussing this as if, this guy created it. Another thing that kind of surprised me is that when he's being interviewed, they show these pictures of people holding up these giant watermelons and heads of lettuce and huge cucumbers, and they all say, look at these results. You can't believe these results. And well, I didn't believe the results. If you go on, do a Google search for images, and you'll find all these same pictures there. They're just photoshopped images. I'm almost guaranteeing they're not real. But it's another alarm bell that went off in my head when I see these things. I'm always skeptical about this stuff, and it's too good to be true type thing. One other thing that people like to do is they say, well, China's doing it. Well, that's just one of those tactics that people have been trained to think that, well, if they're doing it, we can do it too type thing. China's on the other side of this planet. How are we going to prove that they are or aren't doing this electroculture thing? I looked online. I sure didn't find any evidence. There goes my dogs. I didn't find any evidence of it that any country in particular is doing this with any success to the point that we should be trying to keep up with the Joneses as far as that goes. We have these instructions to take the wound coils of copper and plant them, depending on if you're in the northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, place them on the south side of the plant. Well, okay, jump through all those hoops and do it, wind them clockwise, counterclockwise, depending on where you live. And then they say plant them on the south side of the plant if you're in the northern hemisphere. And then they say, and it's in the ground, it can treat a 3-foot circle. Well, if you've got it planted in the ground on the south side of the plant, but it covers a 3-foot circle, what difference does it make? Another alarm bell. just my opinion, just my research results, my gardening results. People that are selling these coils will probably show you, this plant versus this plant. Look at the difference. They've got a reason to fool you. I fooled you, I'm guessing, when I showed you my plants in my garden. It's pretty easy to do. I could probably sell you these things too, but I'm not going to be dishonest about it. I just want to show you the truth about it, that you're probably wasting your time. You're better off just using fertilizer. Tell me what you think. I'll read the comments. This is a new channel. I have a lot of neat things coming up in the near future. So if you subscribe, that'd be great. You're gonna really like the things I've got coming. I've got a chicken coop that I've already built. It's a one-of-a-kind design. It's a combination of a lot of ideas. We'll do a walkthrough of that, and I'll show you how it's set up, and maybe you can take away a few things for your own build. I'll be doing a couple other building projects. I've got a greenhouse coming up here real soon. It's a massive undertaking, not necessarily the largest greenhouse in the world, but it's a very complex design. It's a combination of a lot of greenhouse designs incorporated into one. You're gonna want to see that. It's gonna be really interesting. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you later.